Hi everybody, I wanted to take a few minutes and give you some more details on that puppet mechanism I'm working on. So this right here is the base of the head. Obviously it's not finished. There's the mouth right there. This is EVA foam. This is a ring of EVA foam. This is a finger grip up here so your hand has something to curl around. We've got two thumb loops. So you can perform the puppet right-handed or left-handed. The thumb loops are made of sort of a synthetic leather. And they're lined with fleece, so they're comfortable. The mouthpiece is 3mm Baltic birch plywood. And the mechanism is going to rest on top of the head because it's an eyebrow mechanism, just like that. And the rest of the head will be built up over this. So now I'll show you the actual mechanism. So this spring I bought from my local hardware store. If you go to Home Depot or Lowe's, the springs are they're too strong. These are perfect because they're fairly strong, but if you pull them, you don't have to pull super hard to stretch them. And then, see if we can get it to focus. That metal part right there is called a Dura collar. If you're familiar with shaft collars, this is essentially a tiny shaft collar. They're from Eyebrow, which is a model airplane company. You can get model airplane supplies from them. And they're essentially a ring of stainless steel with a set screw put in them. So you take little Allen wrench, put it into the set screw, just like that. Give it a little turn, and now the Duracollar can move. And you find where you want it, and then give it a little turn, and it stays in place. Now this little white piece right here, that is a little washer. It's actually a Teflon washer. You want Teflon in a lot of these parts because you need things to move as smoothly as possible. You want as little friction as possible in these mechanisms. So those are Duracollars. The eyebrows themselves are going to be attached roughly here on this metal rod. And here. They'll be cut shorter. And there's Teflon tubing. That white thing right there, that's Teflon tubing that goes all the way through the wood. And that is, again, to reduce friction. So as this moves, as this piece rotates inside the wood there, there's no friction hardly at all. And the spring can be replaced if need be. It probably won't need to be replaced, but if need be, all you have to do is take that Duracollar off, pop the spring off, put a new one on. So it's fairly easy maintenance. There's a eye hook right there that is screwed into the wood. This base plate is, again, 3mm Baltic birch plywood, which is the same thing that I made the mouth plate out of. All these other wood pieces are white oak. I wanted white oak because I needed a strong, reliable wood. So the way this mechanism works is there will be a piece of tubing that attaches somewhere here. That tubing, let me see if I can find my piece. I had a piece of it here. I don't know where it went. Should be here somewhere. No, guess not. Anyway, it's just like that tubing, that white Teflon tubing right there that I showed you. But it'll be like a 3 or 4 long piece of it that attaches right about here. And the idea is there's a fishing line that goes through it. This is tough line braided Dacron, 130 pound. This is the stuff the professionals use. And the idea is the fishing line goes through the tubing, and the fishing line comes up here and attaches to this. And there'll be a trigger on the end of the tubing that you pull. So you pull the trigger, which pulls the fishing line, which pulls this piece down, which changes the expression of the eyebrows. And then you let go of the trigger, which lets go of the fishing line, which allows the spring to pop it back into its position. So changed expression, neutral expression. Changed expression, neutral expression. That's the basic idea of how the mechanism works. So you do that, and this part rotates, which allows the eyebrow to rotate. These wood pieces are attached with both wood glue and wood screws, so they should be on there very secure. And I countersunk them because your hand is going to be, the back of your hand is going to be right there, and you don't want things bumping out. So I countersunk these screws, so this is very flat. Now I'll show you the trigger in progress. So for the trigger, there's going to be a piece of Delrin, maybe 30 millimeters by 80 millimeters or so. So a rectangle of Delrin. I use Delrin because it's very smooth, very low friction, kind of like Teflon. So there'll be a rectangle of Delrin, and then on top of that will be this piece and this piece, which are sanded very smoothly. So again, little friction, or very little friction. And then in that channel is going to be the actual moving part of the trigger. So this is the moving part of the trigger. Sanded nice and smooth, very comfortable. There's an eyelet right there that's screwed on. And the fishing line attaches, gets tied on to that eyelet. And the eyelet will be placed in that channel right there. The idea is you have your thumb, you're holding the trigger with one hand, you have your thumb pulls on this, which pulls on the fishing line, which pulls on this part, and moves the eyebrow. And then of course you let go, which pops this back up, and the eyebrow goes back to its original position. So that's the basics of how it works. I will give you more updates as this project progresses.